So today, unpredictably, we are not doing Land Rover content. We're doing an oil change on a Ford Transit RV, and it's a diesel, and it's hard to get under, so I've had to put leveling ramps under it. Anyway, I found my toolbox. Let's get to it. Alright, so we had all our tools laid out. We're just checking everything out. We had a quick crawl under and realized that this has the cartridge type filter. In other words, you replace the element, not the whole spin-on filter. So owners had to run back down to Super Cheap and get a swap out. Well, I guess while I wait, I can crawl under and find out what socket needs to go on the oil drain plug. One thing that is getting difficult these days with multiple sclerosis has been laying on my back. I get wild head spins. Here we go. This is our drain plug. This is our oil cartridge housing. Now these usually go on with a very low amount of torque, like something like 2 Newton meters or something. Yeah. Not the smallest. I bet it'll be 12 or 13 probably. It looks like a 13. There we go, 13mm socket. So put it in lefty loosey mode. Let's see if we can crack this. Oh, that's not been put on with a rattle gun for a change, so that's loose. That's nice. Now let's have a look at our oil filter. See if we can set this in the right size setting to grab that. Needs to go lefty loosey. Yes, I'm just checking that I've got the correct direction before I put force on it. Now I really need to find a socket to fit that because I think I might break it otherwise. A couple of sockets. It's a 15/16. This is a 30mm. So don't have anything in between. Might be ring spanner time. Alright, I'm going to try an oil filter wrench. Yeah, can't remember where I bought this one. It's quite a while ago. This might allow us to get some purchase on here that doesn't snap that boss off. Got it. It loosened. Awesome. Okay, did you get cartridge?
Yeah, it's right there. It's all right.
So we got the cartridge?
Yep.
Okay. So I've got the R2663P. So hopefully that's right. So we'll drain the oil out next. We're going to pull this plug, drain it. I'll have a drink while it's draining, and then we'll go from there. Can't move under here. This is where we get dirty hands. Okay, that is very loose. Now if I put a bit of pressure on with my finger here and hold it in the hole until I feel that last thread skip, we'll be able to pop it out the hole and not drop it in the bucket. I think that's the last bit. Oh, yay, we didn't get it on the grass. We did good. Gotta love diesel oil. Gonna need Gritmitts for this later. Alright, oil plug back in. We could probably let it drain the last little drops out of here, but we're on a time frame today. However, I need that ratchet with a 13mm on it. I have this very much sense of impending doom, like I'm going to get a face full of oil in a minute, and hope that the oil doesn't go everywhere here. It is. We might just let that drain for a bit, like so. Alright, in for a penny, in for a pound. We're going to get covered in oil. Might as well do this anyway. Alright. Alright. Now let's see if I can pry the old cartridge out. Oh, that one's actually going to be clipped in. There's probably a bypass valve or something in there. So we're going to put this in a rag. We're going to hand this back out. Okay, oily messy job. Take the old filter cartridge out. I think we can just pull it out. I think that's how this works. Yep, doesn't appear to be a bypass valve in there. And we'll whack the new one on.
Oops.
That valve looks, that filter's seen better days by the look of that. We'll have a look at the new one. Yeah, this one's got very much blocked and the oil pressure started to crush the paper filter in. So I'll put that in. Which way up do we go? I think that was the way down. Oh, there's notches on both sides, so it should be fine. Now, we'll just really, we're not worried about nicking the old O-ring. So I'll pry that up and we'll just roll that off. Okay, that can get out of here for a bit. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference between old and new filter. That can go in there. New O-ring, we'll lube that up with the amply available oil. I'll put this on. Roll that into the O-ring groove. Right, now we can crawl back underneath. Right, now we're back in again. Well, this back on, which is now very oily, as we might expect. It's not 2000, 200. So these really don't go up very tight at all. That new O-ring's nice and smooth. So pretty much you do these up till you feel that plastic flange come to a stop. You don't need to really do any more than that. There we go, it's come to a stop. Just firm it just tiny bit so it doesn't rattle out. But that's it, that's all you need to do. Okay, so now we get some Gritmitts to get our hands clean. These guys, I approached them a while ago. Good stuff. Alright, now the bottle's a bit dirty now, but hands are much cleaner. Lovely stuff. I'll work on the nails later. I didn't have time to work on that, but this stuff's bloody amazing. Alright, so here's the oil filler with a nice little drain channel here that drops it right on top of the serpentine belt, which is of course exactly where you want oil all the time. We'll do that now. What we might do here first is pop that stupid little filter out that'll take donkey's years to fill anything with. It'll take forever. Now what we do is probably, we know roughly from that container how much we took out, and I'll just wipe a bit of dust out. So we'll probably put in about 3 litres. We'll check it. Check if we're coming up. It's just coming on the bottom of the dipstick. So let's just wait a moment, let it drain through a little bit and see where it comes to. So how much have we put in there so far? So we've put about 6 litres in there. So we'd be looking close to getting to what we want.
Well, 5 litres because this is 6 litres.
It's a 6 litre, but yeah, if you look, so 6 litres, and you've got about 1 litre left, so it's about 5, yeah. So, all right, let's have a look. Yeah, it hasn't come up much, so we'll probably put in about another half a litre and see how we go. We're about halfway up, so I'll put just a little bit more in. We'll have a 1 litre spare if we need it.
I can empty the rest of this.
Yeah, just be careful because we don't want to have to drain it. Stop. We don't have to drain it out.
It's basically empty.
That will be about what we need for an oil change. But the problem is if you overfill it, you haven't got a drain valve in these ones. You've got to pull the plug out and guesstimate. And it's a horribly messy thing to do, to take just a little bit of oil out. Yeah, so that's on the high side of the dipstick now. If we turn it over, run it for about 30 seconds.
It'll go down.
It'll fill up the filter assembly, hopefully. And then we'll check our level again. And then what you do is after you drive it for a bit, just keep that 1 litre bottle on board. Yep. And if it's a little bit low when you've done a few Ks, then top it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Alright. Now we can shut it down now. We can check what the oil level's doing. We'll let everything settle for a minute and see where we're at. So yeah, we've dropped to a little bit below that. We'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll top it up just a tiny bit. Let's see where our oil's up to. We're about a bit above halfway up the stick. We might just plonk a tiny bit in there. Actually, I'm having second thoughts here. I'm thinking with this gives the oil room to expand, and the halfway is usually about that. Cold mark is usually low. This is warm and it's slightly above it. I think we're about right. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that he has the extra 1 litre on board and get him to check the oil after he's done a couple of 100 Ks and make sure it's okay. Otherwise, I think we're pretty well done. All right, and we're done. We do need to do a fuel filter. We couldn't find one, and I probably do need to drain the fuel bowl in it at some point, or the fuel water separator. But right now we don't have the time, the money, or the energy to do that. So we've got the basics done, and when he gets back, we're going to do the rest of the filters. Anyway, now I've got the messy job of putting the black oil back in here, which will mean I need more Gritmitts because my hands got dirty again. Now for the nastiest job, dealing with the used stuff. Alright. There are people around here that paint timber fences and stuff in used diesel oil to help preserve them. And so they'll come and probably pick this up. I'll let them know we've got it. In the meantime, let our funnel drain. Put our cap back on, and this goes in the bin, which the camera's on. Alright, we're done. Alright, well, it was a Ford Transit motorhome oil change. Easier than expected, with some challenges I didn't expect as well. Anyway, I have a key in here. We're going to lock this up, and we'll talk to him later. Hope it was fun.